Welcome to episode 22, Polishing the Supercharger. Now, in this video, some may agree with it, some may not. But all I want to do is get this, like an oxidation glaze on it, to get it off. It didn't take a whole lot to do it. You know, being it's cold outside and the weather like it was, I hadn't had nothing but time, you know. I probably got total maybe, which some people probably think that's too long, but maybe 3 hours in it, maybe. I know some think I should have done an hour. I got it done like I wanted. I kept it where it looks like it ain't brand new. Still got it look like it's a 90 model supercharger. This is a true 144. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy it, and look at the in the first part of the video. It's going to show a time frame to go to miss all the stuff that I used, you know, a lot of the BS. So hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk to you when it's over with. We're going to start polishing this thing up a little bit. I've got several different things here, and I've got my favorite, and I'll put a picture of these up. You won't be able to see them, but we should have enough stuff here to polish the supercharger, I would think, because we got all the motorized stuff. But we're going to be using a little kit here. I can't pronounce them, but I'm going to send a picture there. They got some weird names on this stuff. I know the pads, but it's kind of a weird deal. I'll throw a picture in there. But some of the stuff that back, I guess, 6 months ago, I knew I was going to be polishing this one day. And being it's in the upper 20s out there, so I'm in here today. I went on a farm and asked them what's one of the best things to use to polish these superchargers or aluminum in general, and I got several things back that people uses to, you know, to repolish or start from like a new intake or whatever it's not polished, get it all polished, whatever. This has been polished before, but it's a low hour supercharger, but it's been beat up scratches on it from toting around. People really don't, I can't say don't care, but they just, you know what I'm talking about, it don't really, not a word for it really. But anyway, this is the last thing here that was recommended. I have not used this. It's just a metal polish two-step, and I'll throw a picture up on it. But I've never used this. I have tried these. I sampled these. This I never have. We're going to try it out and do a review. Now, if you got something you want to polish, boy, I tell you what, this stuff right here, don't forget to shake it up. This 3D metal polish. This right here is pretty good stuff right here. I like it. The pictures and the videos, I think, might show it. I know the pictures do over on my build page, where I sampled it underneath the supercharger, see how it's going to do, and boy, it really brought it out. After I did this, I went over it with the Never Dull, and this is pretty good stuff here. Never Dull worked good to kind of finish it up there a little bit, and of course I put the mothers on top of it. When I did that, it brought a mirror finish back out to it, and it took a lot of the scratches off. I think this right here really gets down to the scratches, gets it on down there where you really can't see them that well. The deep ones, of course, we probably won't do much with, but I guess it'll have that kind of a weathered look to it. Now this supercharger, looking at the intake and the supercharger blower, you could tell at the edges that somebody must have did this at in their garage or something, kind of like me, that just wanted to hit the flat surfaces. And who knows, I mean, this is the way it looks. This charger probably from back in the late 80s or early 90s is when this charger was mounted on the boat. So they didn't get the edges of your ribs. Anywhere there was a curve, turn, it was missed. I'm going to see if I can take some of that out. I ain't promising I can, you know, because I'm definitely not a polisher. I'm just going to hit this thing up and see what I can make it look like. Can I clean it up some? We're going to see what I can do with it. But you could tell only the flat surfaces were done, not really the whole thing. And I know y'all that's watching this, you probably thinking or hollering at me like you got the secret idea to do it. I've asked the farms, been in farms, and I did watch a few videos on polishing aluminum or the superchargers, and they pretty much use what I got here. I've got some 240s little grip pads, because there is some spots on it that's real rough where they didn't touch it at all. I'm going to try to get it down, and then I've got some up to 2,000 or 3,000 paper that I could use to kind of get it on down some more. Of course, then we got the I got this little kit right here. Well, this has been a handy little thing. It's 80 grit, and it's got some cone sanders in it, but it's got some stuff in it I could use where it's real rough, that hasn't been hit yet. Kind of get it down a little bit. We didn't take it down too far. Like I say, I'm just gonna mess with it, clean it up a little bit, and see what I can do with it. I started on it. This is from the bottom, and I know, like I say, I'm not a polisher at all. Be up front with you. Hey, hold on for a minute. Don't worry about the C10 Nation shirt. Send me one. I'll wear yours during the video. Alright, so they said if it don't turn black, it ain't doing nothing. And boy, this right here will do it up. Matter of fact, I know I got to take each wheel off the truck, polish them. They have not been polished yet. And I'm going to be using this, covering it up with the Never Dull and the Mothers. So, and then it also depends on what this does. This was highly recommended. Now, I don't know. I'm one of those that if somebody used it and said they liked it, I'm going to try it, and I'm going to let you know how well I liked it, or how well it worked for me. So, but we got these little kits right here. They got it all in it. When you buy these here, they come with all the small ones, anything to get in small areas, and your bigger ones for your wheels and what all, or big surfaces. Of course, these pads here, they'll come with the your bit here to screw them on for your drill or your die grinder, whatever you're going to use. We're going to use probably, we got 2 different die grinders and some high-speed drills. And then we got the little die grinder, the little sanders that can really get into some spots. It's going to take some time. I looked online and I said, you know what? On the intake, I'm like, time is money. You know what I mean? But being it's cold, I ain't got a whole lot going on, you know, outside. I do inside. This is just going to pass time, so I hope the weather comes back up. Now, today is Thursday. I looked at the weather. It's going to be cool through next week. You know what I mean? So I'll have, we may jump ahead on some stuff that I didn't plan on doing, like the fueling of it. I know it was going to come up, you know, later on, but we may go ahead and set the fueling up on it, see how everything's going to turn out, how it looks, how I would set it up, what I do to my spacers and all, you know, to perform. But anyway, let's we'll start on this thing, kind of get on with it, and see how far I can get. Kind of see what it looks like. I'm gonna start out with the snout first and see what I could do with this, if anything. it may be another trial and error deal, kind of like the seat thing. You know what I mean? The seat thing kind of went okay. I had to get them zip ties out there. The thought, you know what I mean? It just can't do it. But anyway, I'm gonna do this. I am gonna take the screws out. This hasn't been torqued down yet. I'm gonna take the screws out, put them in the tumbler, polish them up, see what they look like. If they turn out, will they look okay? Then they rust, I may coat them with something, prime them and paint them with the color of the truck, something or other. You know what I mean? Just kind of detail a little bit. All depends on how well they turn out. That thing there that cleans up the polisher, the tumbler, you know, it polishes the heck out of rocks and what all, you know what I mean? Did anything. If I put my bolts, any small parts in there, plastic, it doesn't hurt anything. And it's crazy because I've used the glass and I've used the walnut shell, any of that, and you know, it polishes metal real nice. And then it's a wonder it polishes the metal and don't hurt plastic, you know. So anyway, here we go. We're going to get on with this thing and so we can make it look any difference or not. I think we can. If not, like I say, it's a trial and error thing. Just do what we can do. It may have a little weathered look, you know. All right, let's get rolling on it. So I recommend you anything that you have in the area. Like I got my console behind you, and anything that is close by, unless you put a shield around you, protect it, because stuff's gonna fly. You know what I mean? You're gonna have material fly around. Well, we're gonna start off. We'll shake this up, and I hadn't done anything to it yet. These right here, I think I could do something with this. And I'm trying to think, you know, and looking at the idler and all, looking at the some other pictures, I don't know what he had, what could he had rubbing here. This came off a Mer Cruiser when it was born, and that's, you know, to let you know, we're going back pretty much with those engine specs. They were dependable engines. You can use them all day long in the boat with no issues. Run them, no problems. So if y'all want to know what engine we'll be focusing on, it'll be towards the Mer Cruiser specs in the engine that's going in the truck. But anyway, I mean, this way it can be driven. You know, instead of making, you know, a hot rod out of it you can't drive, or whatever, I build these things where you can run them. I'll measure that pulley. I'm 6 or 8, but if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a 6. So we're probably looking maybe on the high side. It depends on how well the heads flow, because you want to build pressure and hold pressure. You want to lose your pressure after it builds. We're looking at 9 maybe, you know, 10 on the high side, but I think 9, between 7 and 9 is probably what we're going to get out of this, which I think I'm right about that. And another thing, later on I'm going to show where in the manual because I do have the book. Matter of fact, this is the picture of the old book right here. So this book right here was printed back in the late 80s, and it gives you all the specs everything on how to set it up. If you need it, right? I brought the book out, of course, in the truck. This will be in it. Anything I do, any paperwork, anything that's added to the truck, anything I do will be put in a folder for whoever buys or whatever. They'll have all the information they need. Wiring harnesses, all of it. So they're not, it ain't cheap, but it's worth doing anyway. Let's get back on this. So I don't know what was here. We're going to try to get that out, see what we can do with it. And we're going to start just on the top here and see what best works for us, the easiest to polish it. Okay, I'm going to start out with the Metal Polish 1 and this new stuff here I got. It was recommended. I've never used it. I just now opened it up. Here's the red cap side of it. So according to directions on this, both of them say the same thing. It just changes the number 1 to number 2, but it says you shake it well, and what I don't understand is it says pour a small amount of polish onto a black microfiber towel, but the next sentence, or next thing, it mentions that rub until surface and black appears. How am I supposed to know it appears on a black towel? I'll see it here, but anyway, let's go with number 1 first. So you got 1 and 2. Let's just see what this does here. We're just going to sample these. I already use these here. I know what they do. And I'm just going to use a towel, like I said, and see what's going on here. I put gloves on, the little latex gloves, because when I used this the other day, kind of dry, it'll dry you out some. I don't know if it was it or whatever else I was using. I have no idea, but it just says use a towel. We're gonna see what it does right here live. I'm not gonna speed it up. I'm just gonna do it live, just like what you see. And it's turning black, so we know we're getting some stuff off of that. Sure are. Just doing a little sample here, see what it does. Of course, you can see where, or maybe you can in the camera, it's rough along all the edges. All the edges is rough, and I don't think if it came like that, they did a halfway job back in the 80s and early 90s. It didn't say how long to do this or how much to use. So we're gonna give them a chance. See what they got here. So I'm just going to use the towel first. If it looks like it's going to work, I'll go to a polishing wheels over there and see what we can do with it. And we'll go put the second one on there. Not looking bad. Not looking bad at all so far. Okay, we're going to use a different part of the towel. That way we know we're all on the good side here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's made a little bit of difference there. You can still see it's got some deep pit scratch marks on it, you know. That's just something I guess we're going to have to live with. Let's take it on down. I may do something with it. So that first one did a good job. Look like I'll put a little on here, and I'm gonna come back and put my rag here. Let's just see what it do. See what she does. Even right here, it's got some somewhere banged on it.
Probably them throwing it around. I didn't get much for it. I checked it out. There was no roughness in it, no play, nothing. I mean, it was a tight. And he told me it wasn't used much. They what they did with it after looking it over in the intake with the slots in it, they bolted it down on that. I don't know if it's the second gen. I don't think it's the first one. But you know, they got the Vortex heads where I think the first ones you could put any intake on, like the old style. I'm thinking now, maybe wrong. But the intake that was bolted on was the heads was the Vortex head that had the two angle front and back on the bolt holes, but the middle ones were straight up and down. And they almost messed the intake up. You could tell where it was bolted down because it goes up on the intake, and where they cut the slots and broke a little chip off of it, it flattens out. You could tell they tried it. You know, you can't have that. So we're gonna see what this little spot does. They don't say how long to do it. Just keep on doing it. It's going to be time consuming, but we're going to see what we can do with it. I think it'll look better, whatever I do to it. You know what I mean? It's going to look better. Oh man, you can see the reflection. I think the camera can see that spot. You can see the difference from here to here. So that's pretty good stuff. I like it. I'm gonna do the other side with the metal polisher. And of course, now my steps on the metal polisher is I'll use the metal polisher first. Then I'll hit it with the Never Dull. Then I put my mother's back on top of it. And when I did that underneath here the other day, man, it brought this thing out like never before. I mean, it really polished it. Now, I like this. It seems like it's gonna be okay. I wonder if Mother's is the type that has like a it says it protects, kind of like a to protect your shine, you know, a wax or something. I think Mother's does that. I think it does. I'm not sure. See, I'm not a polisher. I ain't much at all. I just kind of go with the flow. You know what I mean? But anyway, we'll get this thing, start polishing on up, and we'll go on from there. Okay? Let's roll with this. Turn. gonna look okay right there. So I'm gonna try to get something and get this out. Probably gonna be a little bit of chore. That or I can just leave it. I don't know. It's what I can do with it. There's a chrome marker. I could fill this in, clean it out, and just paint over it with that chrome marker. It's not hurt anything. It's not really covering anything up, but it is. But if I buff this down, it's going to be a flat spot here. So we may do something with that before we actually mount it on the truck, okay? Something like that. But hey, this thing, man, it's we ain't got nothing but time, I guess, but time is money. But we I think if I get it to this, we're gonna have a nice looking supercharger here. I think we will. The old boys out there, they be like, where'd you find that old shiny supercharger at? You know? Shoot, watch my video, we had to shine that thing back up. But anyway, I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna do the snout and I'll come back with you. I'm gonna do the snout completely. I'll come back. We got the take the screws out, all but one on each side, and try to get the edges here. See what we can do with them, if anything, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna do the snout. We'll come back and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the body. Be right back. Talking to the moon. Stop right here on this intake and talk about it for a minute. I'm doing the same thing on it as I did the supercharger, just get that oxidation glaze off of it. Then I'll go back and touch it up, finish it up, kind of make it look like it did. I've been contacted by a couple people, and they do it for a living, polish these things. And they want to go in and polish the whole thing back to where it looked new again. Myself, I like the way the supercharger turned out. It's got that 80s, early 90s look to it. You know what I mean? Like it's being used. I mean, it's gonna look all right to me. All I got to satisfy is me. But you can see the glaze that's on this, and it comes off just like. I'm gonna do this with no gloves right fast. And this stuff sure dries your hands out if you ain't careful. I'm gonna do it with a no glove. But uh-oh, I messed up there, didn't I? Everything down below it. But anyway, so all I want is pretty much clean. You know, get the oxidation off of it that's on it. Of course, when I was in the supercharger, this thing's been abused, just kind of thrown around and what all, but it the inside like it never has been ran. So it ain't taking nothing. And you can imagine with my little drill and what all, but you'll see right here that it ain't taking nothing to get this off. I probably got I don't know, 10-15 minutes not over there, but you can already see the mirror finish right there. And I've only did the first step. Of course, I'll go back with the these two here work real well, and my Never Dull, I'll hit with the Never Dull. And a lot of people don't like mothers. I found that out, but man, it did well. But like I said, I did it all with the my little drill here, and I can go up as fast as I want to with this little old thing here, man. It thing gets it, boy. People have made fun of these. I've seen in chats, but I'm still on that same battery, and I've done a lot on the supercharger and done a lot in the small places on the intake. But anyway, I just want to stop, and I'm not showing a lot of video on the intake. It's the same process, and didn't want to bore you to death on it. Anyway, so I'm gonna get on with it, get this finished up, and try to get some decent photos. I still got the tensioner, your water housing, your thermostat housing, and all to do. Get all that done, and then next week we'll talk about the fueling on it. What we're gonna do different, a little different. It won't be much different from what we used to do. You know, it's just pretty much it's a driver, so you don't. It's not a hot rod. You can make a hot rod out of it if you want to. If you wanna pull that engine out and do something with it, or pull the supercharger off, put it on something else, make a hot rod, you go ahead. But I probably won't produce maybe 400 out of the whole thing. You know what I mean? Maybe that much. It's a low boost, so it ain't real high. And then you got your the ports on these are real small. But anyway, we'll probably do a port match if the head ain't real wide. He's not supposed to be. We talked about it. It's in the measurements on the port, so we'll see what he comes up with on it. But anyway, I'm gonna shine this on thing up, get this video here done. So next week we can either, depending on the weather, we're gonna be back in the cab or doing fueling. Okay. So let's get on with this right here and get it done.
Thank y'all for watching. So I did what I could with it. You know, I looked at pictures of others that was in vehicles, trucks, cars, what all. I think I did a pretty good job. Unless they're new, you know, most of them, I don't know why some take time to build these and not keep them clean. I guess they just build them for the heck of it, you know. But so next week we're going to go over the fueling supply, like we said. We've got the fuel lines in. We got the heads, you know, coming on, waiting on that block. Now it's going to be a disappointment. I got what, 113 days left, and I still got to finish the cab, the interior, which that won't take long. We are starting to put the carpet in. It'll come out, I think, the 23rd. The video. So I'm doing work on it. I'm gonna be I'm trying to be ahead. You know, on videos, 2 or 3 weeks. But the truck will be, you know, a lot will be done, and the video will come out. So I'm trying to get ahead of it. Which we'll be on time though when it comes time for the show. And I got to get ahead because I got to catch up. I actually got to catch up with the camera. So I got the other seat still to punch the holes and get it covered. Get it ready to go in. We just did one seat. We only mounted. I got the holes in the mounts built for the passenger side. I got to build the mounts for the driver's side. So as the video comes up that week, I'll probably be working on the video for the next week or a week after. But we're getting there, and we're going to try to make it roll. So thanks for watching again, and we'll see what happens on 23 with the fueling, which is going to be interesting. A lot of people asked a lot of questions. Man, message has been blowing up, so we're going to try to clear all that up and hope it helps. We're going to talk about that next week. Talk to y'all then. Welcome to episode. What episode am I on? I better look.